Good morning, everyone. Hi, welcome to candidate registration process for senior consultants. We'll start from introducing each other. My name is Karina. Obviously, I want you guys to tell me your name, which branch you're coming from, how long you are working for the company, and maybe interesting fact about yourself. Can we start from you, please?
So my name is Betty. I'm a senior consultant at Blue Arrow Edgeworth branch. I work for the company for 5 years. And interesting fact is that I just came back from holidays. I've been to Georgia where I spent 3 weeks.
Oh wow, amazing. Where did you stay?
It was a road trip with a company called Land for Travel, and we were traveling around Georgia in cars, 4x4 cars like Land Rovers.
Oh wow, really nice. I'm jealous
Sounds
right
good.
now. Would you do it again?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I already planning going there for next year, so yeah, I
Nice.
will go.
Wow, sounds good. All right, can we move to you?
Yes, my name is Slav. I'm the senior consultant at the Tuting branch. I work for company for past 6 years. Interesting fact about me, I ride motorbikes as my hobby.
Wow. Do you have any motorbikes?
I have one main motorbike, which is my Honda VFR 1200. I do a lot of touring with my wife as well. And on a daily basis, I commute on a Honda S-Wing. Like I said, it's just my little commuter. Yeah.
Is it easier? to
It's
travel?
easier, quicker, and it's also cheaper.
Okay, and do you travel a lot on your motorbike?
I commute on a daily basis, and I try to take as many road trips as I can, but that depends on the weather and obviously amount of money I've got in my pocket.
Nice. This is probably expensive, isn't it?
It can be sometimes, yeah.
Great. Now when we know each other a little bit more, we need to move to the training. On the beginning, I'll cover a few bits of important stuff. If we don't have any fire drill planned now, but if we will have to evacuate, we need to go to the end of the office, to the last window, open the gate, go to the roof, and on the end of the roof we have a staircase going down to the courtyard, and we all meet in front of the police station where we have assembly point. Okay? If you need a toilet, downstairs on the first floor on the left. If you need to top up your water, the water dispenser is just behind you, and tea or coffee next door in the kitchenette. Okay?
Yeah.
Brilliant. So, what is job science? Our company just introduced job science to some of the branches. It's a new system which will allow you to make the registration easier. You as a senior consultant you will have to share your training information which you gained today with your team workers at work, yeah? We already launched in this Blue Arrow Job Science few months ago. So basically, I have to say the system is very good. It's easy to use and gives us a lot of opportunity. It will take the pressure from consultants with the day-to-day operations and paperwork.
Is it quicker than the system we use currently?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is. And obviously it's created to basically give you more time to spend on the sales side of the business. Yeah? Because you guys don't have a login, we will use one computer, and you guys do bits and pieces of the registration swapping sites, okay? So I'll ask you to do few, and you, Slav, you will finish. So Betty will start, and you will finish registration, okay?
Yeah.
I've gave you some manual guides, so you guys can follow me while I'm talking. Obviously, you will more understand from the training, following step by step. Obviously, I have also over here some bits and pieces which I made a note for you as well. Okay. So objectives for today's session are uploading CVs, sending compliance pre-interview, updating pre-interview details, then sending post-interview details, and verifying post-interview details, which for this part of the registration candidate need to be in the office physically and show you documents. And the last bit is adding competences and induction.
Sure.
Alright? In a moment. Perfect. If you have any questions during the session, feel free to ask them, okay? Let's start from the beginning. The registration is completely different from what you guys been doing until now. So, do you want to tell me how do you do registration in the office at the moment?
Standard process, I guess, for all of us in every branch at the moment. So when the candidate comes to an office, they need to fill up some application forms. Then we have to take the copies of all the documentation, the documents, and then manually input all of those details into the system. We have to make sure they do read and sign terms and conditions of employment, working times regulations, and give us their bank details, so they have to then put it into the form and sign it that they gave those to us in the first place. That how it works with you as well?
Yes,
Yeah, okay,
exactly
cool,
the same,
yeah.
Yeah, so this is the old process. The new process using job science is completely different and straightforward. Basically, candidate registering themselves.
Oh wow, that's good, that's quick.
What you need to have for it is the CV.
Right.
So when the candidate will send you a CV, you just start the whole process from saving the CV on your screen and then uploading to the system.
Right.
So this is the first stage, uploading CV guide. Yeah? So to do it, you have a CV saved on your screen, and you basically have to go to the job science, you have to select add CV, you have to follow the steps, you upload the CV, system will populate the relevant details like email address, phone number, name, surname, and if the candidate put address, it will be populated in the system, and the profile is created.
Right, okay.
On that stage, process is finished, and you can start working on the candidate. Yeah? We're moving to the next process, which is uploading pre-interview details process. Before we do that, obviously we need to send candidate GDPR consent form, so they have to give us permission for future contact. And then we can start sending bits and pieces of the application, okay? Pre-interview details, process guide, it's like template email, which have details of documents they have to upload it to us.
Right.
So basically, candidate will receive 3 links: proof to right to work, declaration and working time regulation. And they have to fill the details, submit the documents with them, and send it back to us. That's the end of the process. We don't do anything else with it. We're just waiting for candidate to submit everything over.
Sure.
Okay? Then we may moving to updating pre-interview details. So basically, if we have those 3 links, send it back to us. We have to click on each of them, check if all the relevant details are in, if the passport number, validation date, and then we're moving to the next process. Okay? We don't do anything on that stage, as we said. We're waiting for the candidate to come over and bring the documents.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds quite easy.
The next stage is sending compliance post-interview process. So basically, you send an email. Again, it's a template email which contains equal opportunities, medical questionnaire, new starter declaration, terms of employment, bank account details. Candidates have to click on every single link, and they have to submit the details. They have to click the boxes, yes or no, if relevant. And in some of the places, they have to do online signature.
Right.
When you receive everything back, then this process is finished. Yeah.
Okay.
We're moving to verify post-interview. So as I said, you receive everything back, you know that this candidate's returned first 3 links from the first email, and then another 5 links from the second email. You can verify them. What you need to do, you call candidate, and you need to ask them to come to this office. They need to provide you all the documents relevant for the registration, passport, NI number, proof of address, and then if they have DBS, and then you can verify everything, yeah?
Okay.
Perfect. And the last bit is adding competences. So everything what is relevant for the job role. For example, catering assistants, kitchen porters, you need to have a food and hygiene. hospital work, school work, you have to have a DBS. So everything which will be relevant for the job role need to be added to competences. Yeah, simple as it is. Let's move to practical bit of the training. Sorry, excuse me. Betty, we will start from you. Okay. Oh, you've been logged out. Alright, we're here. So Betty, we starting the process from uploading CV, yes?
Yes.
So we go into the tool section on the left, yeah, and we click add resume, and then we click on the choose a file, and then we pick the relevant CV. We save the CV over here, okay,
Yes,
you can
yes.
click on the CV, and then press open, and scroll down, upload the CV.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's done. Perfect. We wait for a few seconds so the system will process the CV, will pick the all relevant details like email address and phone number, and the profile will show up. There you go, we
Yes.
have a profile. So our candidate is in the system already, okay?
Yeah.
Alright. So now we're checking if the all details are correct. We have an email address, we have a phone number. If we scroll down to the CV, we just need to double check if this is exactly the same what we have on the CV.
Yes.
And it
Well,
is.
so you can always double check and cross reference with the actual CV and
Yeah, it's
what's
always
it
better
called? Okay.
to check because obviously if the email will not be correct, then you can always call a candidate and check the.
I understand we can still change the details manually if we have to.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Scroll up. Basically, on this stage, uploading CV is finished, and
That's
this
all.
is this candidate is ready to be contacted by us, and everything process can start. Yeah. So now you need to click on send GDPR consent form. We need to have a permission from candidate for the future contact. So obviously we click yes, okay, and the email has been sent back. Perfect. So now candidate will receive the email, they have to click the relevant button and submit it. The next stage will be to send pre-interview form. So we're going to activity history. Well done. And then we click on the send email. Perfect. And from the select template, we need to pick the relevant template, which will be pre-interview form. Well done. And when you scroll down, you can see 3 links which we were talking about. So, proof of right to work, declaration, working time regulation. That obviously is what they need to return to us. Yeah.
Yes.
So then on this stage, this process is finished. You just scroll down a little bit. You press send, and then it's done. Yeah. So email it's generated. It's gonna send automatically to the candidate. Okay. So what happened now, candidate will receive email containing those 3 links, and they have to send those 3 links back to us. Yeah, so they have to make the copy of their passport, send it over, and registration is, we are like in the middle of registration basically. You click on the certification, and then you should receive from candidate. We won't have it now, obviously, because we're waiting for the candidate to follow the process. But when we receive it, we will have 3 links done. We just have to click on the links, check the attached documents, see if everything is matching, see if the dates are put by candidate with valid date documents and from. And that's basically where the process is done for verification pre-interview forms. Okay. What is next is sending post-interview, and I would like you guys to swap the seats so all the post-interview bits Slav will do. Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
Yes, thank you. So now we're doing post-interview section. So you're gonna go exactly in the same place, which is activity history on the top of the screen over here.
History, yeah.
Click on it, then send an email. Perfect. And then select the template.
Right.
Once you do that, you do post-interview forms. over here, perfect.
Mhm.
And when you scroll, this is like ready template.
Right, okay.
And you have all the links which candidate will receive next. So medical, you start the declaration, terms of employment, equal opportunities, and bank details, okay?
Right.
When you scroll down, press
Yep.
send,
Yeah.
yes, send, perfect. And the candidate will receive email right now,
Right.
okay? What they need to do, they need to fill the links again exactly the same way,
Right.
tick the boxes, and where the relevant is the signature, they will have to sign it.
Mm. Okay.
You as a consultant, you have to check it.
Right,
Okay.
of course.
So after probably after few minutes, you check if the candidate will receive it, and if they say yes, you need to tell them to fill everything over.
Where can we check that exactly? In which section?
The-
Or
the-
does it
will
automatically reappear?
automatically will tell you that the email has been sent. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. After probably few hours, you need to go back to the candidate's name, and you need to check the certification. So you
Mhm.
scroll up to the top, and then you click on the certification, and all 8 certifications should show up. Yeah, 3 from the first email, and last 5 from the second email.
Okay.
So you check if everything has been filled by the candidate properly. What you need to do now, you call in candidate, you ask them to come to the office, whichever date is relevant for you or for them,
Yes.
bring their documents, passport, proof of address, proof of national insurance.
All those
etc.
requested forms.
If they have a DBS, always ask them if they have a DBS, because obviously for our type of work they will most likely need it.
Yeah.
Yeah? And on that stage, process is finishing, you can verify that the candidate in the office, you check their details, documents, and obviously from candidate profile from red will turn green, which means
It's verified.
it has been registered. Yeah, you basically register the candidate if the starting date is today.
So the system does it really for us, the whole registration. What if some of the documents are missing? So let's say candidates send 4 out of 5. What do we do then
Well, they will have to bring everything over anyway.
with them anyway? So we can just
So
add it
you
onto the
can,
system.
yeah, you scan
Right,
it to
okay.
yourself, you add to the system, and then you verify it. Obviously, you won't be able to verify on the final stage the candidate account unless you have all the relevant documents.
Of course, yeah.
Yes, so far you guys understand the process,
Yeah, quite simple.
The last bit is adding competencies. So if you scroll down a little bit, no, sorry, up.
Okay.
You have here on the bottom, just a little bit down. You've got competencies over here, yeah?
Okay, yeah.
So in this section, you can add anything like TPS certificate, food and hygiene, candidates a job role like catering assistant, kitchen porter, chef, whatever they do. Obviously, with the DBS and food and hygiene, you have valid date, valid from, valid
Mhm.
to, because obviously food and hygiene, most likely level 1 is valid 1 year, level 2 3 years. DBS, we accept the DBS within a year.
Right.
So it will turn red if something will be expired. Yeah. Also, you can rate the candidate on the rating section. So if you send candidate to the client and client didn't like the candidate or something wasn't quite right, client have a right to request not to send candidate back, and you can rate the candidate over here, put the rating.
Is that the rating for each and every job, or is it sort of an average for
person.
all the
It's
jobs?
a client rating.
It's a
Basically,
client's
you
rating,
pick the
right.
client, and obviously that person will not be sent it back to that
Right,
client.
okay.
Or oppositely, if the client will say that this candidate was brilliant and this is always their first
Right.
choice, you put excellent on the rating, and this name will always pop out as a first name on the search for this certain client.
Okay. Oh, so
Yeah.
there's an account box,
Yeah,
so
you can
which
do that.
client and then
Exactly.
the
Yes.
right, okay,
Mhm.
that's really quite good.
So that's basically the whole process. It's very straightforward, very easy. It's
It
very
is easy.
time
It's quite quick as well.
time saving.
Yeah.
Yes. So the used to registration took like 2 hours with filling application, checking everything, you guys uploading everything to the system. Now it should
Mm.
take you only probably 20 minutes in the office
Okay.
to spend with the candidate. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Wow,
So we
it's really
finished the
quite good.
process. Yeah. We can move to the test bit. You guys ready?
Well, let's see. Yeah.
You ready to answer
Quite
some
easy.
questions?
Yeah.
Are we still able to look at them? Take a peek at them?
Yeah, it is for you guys to obviously. I do
Cheat sheet
understand
over
you won't remember everything, but the
Sure.
more you remember, the easier for you to go.
I mean, all this is really attached here.
Yeah,
so
yeah, that's why I gave you
yeah.
that on the beginning, so you can follow
Mm.
my steps, and obviously this is for you to take.
Oh,
This is for
thank
you
you.
to take, so you can
Really
you
quite
can
well.
take it with you. Okay, let's start from Betty. Betty,
Okay.
you ready for your first
Yes,
question?
I am, yes.
Tell me where you find add resume section.
In the tools section on the left panel.
Okay, and on the screen
Yeah.
will be over here. Perfect. Great. Slav, what should you do before uploading CV to the system?
Enter the candidate's name on the top of the
Yeah,
page.
where that would be?
That would be here.
Research
Yeah.
section. Perfect.
And then check if the candidate doesn't exist in the system already.
Yeah, because if it doesn't exist, that means you can create it. If it
Yeah.
does, that most likely this candidate sent the CV to someone else, and that person already created profile.
Quick question: if we used to have a candidate in a system, but let's say system at some point generated P45 and this individual candidate stopped working for us, will it still be in a system?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, but then you basically do re-registration process, which is quite similar,
Right.
but it's a different process. It's
Okay.
not registration.
Really
It's
good.
re-registration. Yes.
So if all the details match, then we just sort of approve it at the end, and we have it all in place already in the system. That's it.
Yes.
Right.
Mhm. Okay. Betty, what do you do? What do you send to candidate in the first email?
It's a pre-interview information request.
Mm-hmm.
The email will contain 3 links, and the candidate is required to complete it's proof of right to work, declarations, and WPR.
Perfect. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, next question for you. Can you verify right to work documents during updating pre-interview details?
No, you cannot. You have to verify when you see the original documents, and
Mhm.
then you present them on the last page of the registration, then approve it.
Perfect. Well done. That's correct. You must always see the original in the office.
Yeah.
You can't finish registration not seeing
Not seeing,
candidate
yeah.
because obviously you have to. We have a scanning machine which we're checking if the passport or visa
yeah,
is
of course. So we
genuine.
still have to have the original documents,
Yes.
see it, sign
Always.
it, keep it on the
Always.
file. Right. Okay.
Okay. Betty, what is the name of template you are sending to candidate on the second email?
It's called post-interview details.
Well done, well done. Slav, and last question for you. When adding competency which has a valid date, what do you need to provide?
It needs to provide valid from and to date
Mhm.
with the certificate.
Okay, so basically you have to upload the certificate.
Yeah, you have
otherwise-
to. Yeah. And then
yeah.
obviously check the dates whether they match, and then approve it again.
Well done, guys. Do you think you're ready to go back to your branches and share your knowledge with your team work?
Oh yeah, it's,
Co-workers?
it's quite easy. Yeah, it's the guide is really quite clear as well, and actually the system itself seems quite simple as well. So
Do you have guys any more question for me?
yeah, I do have a question. Obviously we have the knowledge from you, and we have those little manuals, but if we stuck at some point of the registration process, then is there a sort of a manual guide within the system itself?
Yes.
Or
Obviously,
um,
I know this is hard copies. It can be lost. I will
Mm.
also email you when we finish. I will email you both manual guide, and it can be found also in our intranet
Sure.
under
Oh,
the
that's
job
nice.
science section. So everything is in the system. Okay.
So is your details as a main sort of trainer, as I understand it as well, for the
At the
company,
moment.
would be logged in a system as well? So
Yes.
like other colleagues, if we're not there to answer
Mhm.
the questions, could contact
Yes.
you? Yeah, okay.
Definitely.
That's
Okay.
Cool.
So we have a great training. I
Yes.
think
Mm,
we understand
yeah, it was
everything
really quite
at
good.
the moment. We guys can go back to your branches and
Okay.
feel free to ask me any questions
Sure.
if needed. and
I
that
have
would be
one.
it.
I have one last
Yeah,
question here. When is the system actually going into play for the whole company, for all branches? Is that?
Because it's involved a lot of training
Mm,
as well. It's been done bits and
Right.
bit by bit. A few branches already receive it in central London.
okay.
You guys gonna be next one actually. That's why this is a training, so you guys we can prepare you guys for what is coming within the next probably few weeks.
One last question: is this system centralized? So let's say if Betty registers someone in her branch, and then this person comes or relocate within London, am I going to be able to see that same candidate in
Candidates at the moment
a system?
are registered in a whole company database.
Right.
Everyone have access to them. If you need a candidate which is in East London, for example, Betty have a candidate who is registered with her, and she doesn't use it at the moment, and this candidate is free. You can always call Betty and ask her for the candidate. You can borrow it.
So again, I can just enter the candidate's name here, and then
It will pop
Whatever-
out, and on the
whatever's in the
bottom of the
system
page
will- right.
bottom of the page of candidate, you will see who owns the candidate, so you will have
Right.
a name of the candidate.
oh, okay, that's
Alright.
good stuff. Fantastic.
Great.
Excellent.
Guys, thank you very much for attending
Thank
the
you.
course. Have a great day and a safe journey home. We will see each other next week on the second part of registration, but that's going to be a manual one. So
Right. Okay.
we will process the other part of registration.
Sure.
It's a business. Okay.
That's great.
Have a
Thank you very
great
much.
day,
Thank you.
and
Have a
I'll
great
see
day.
you
You
next
too.
time.
Thank you for your